Welcome back for more animal spirit information. Today we are covering the fox spirit. So as usual, I'm going to start by reading the main traits and meanings associated with the fox. Adaptability, responsiveness, cunning, awareness, wisdom, luck, cleverness, strategy, curiosity, adaptability, playfulness, agility, clairaudience, being the trickster, teacher, shamanism, healing, quick thinking, critical thinking, increased perceptions, guidance on swiftly moving past obstacles and tricky situations, and navigation through the spirit realm. Now, the fox is interesting in that depending on the culture and the circumstances of a story, foxes can be associated negatively or positively. So often with negatives, they can come as a warning sign that something or someone is lurking in the shadows beyond your perception. So it can be a positive in that they are trying to warn you so that you can avoid the danger. But then other times they are portrayed as possessing dark magic or out to cause harm. But other times they are kind of in the gray area of being a mischievous trickster who isn't necessarily out to hurt you, but to not help you at the same time. Still, other times, though, the fox can be presented as a helpful teacher, although this help can be done in a tricky sort of way that can be taken as negative when it is really leading you towards a positive. So for cultures, some, such as China and Peru, suggest that the fox has godlike powers that allows them to shapeshift into human form, which can be used for their trickery because they can make you think that they are a human when they're really a fox. The fox is seen in some cultures, such as China and Peru, as possessing godlike powers and having the ability to shapeshift into human form. Often, the fox can be associated with dark magic or bad omens because they will come to warn you that there is something lurking in the shadows that you aren't necessarily perceiving. But regardless of the positive or negative connotation of the fox, they typically are seen as signifying problem solving, slyness, mental ability, agility, mystery, and scrutiny or discernment. In some cultures, the fox is a spiritual being that is able to kind of bridge that gap between the ghostly spirits that we think of the deceased and the physical world. Because the fox, if you think of them as like a spirit, they would associate with those, but then because they can shapeshift into human form, they are still connected to the physical. If you can take it that way. So because of this, the fox is associated with the ability to traverse not just our physical reality, but the way that we traverse through the spirit realm as well. And as a whole, the fox is deeply connected with its ability to traverse, as I said, because foxes in like the forest have a deep knowledge of their environment. And so they are able to traverse their surrounding area with ease and agile movements that not all animals are capable of. And so we can learn from that to take on their problem solvingness, agility, adaptability, slyness, mystery, and scrutiny. The fox has very strong perceptive abilities, and because they are able to trick people, they have an understanding of the trickery of others, and that there's usually more beyond the eye and what you hear on the surface level. So the fox asks us to be an observer and a keen listener in order to discern when a situation is actually in our favor or not, and when the people that we associate with are genuinely for our benefit, or if they are trying to deceive us in some way. The fox is also associated with swiftly moving around obstacles. So instead of confronting an obstacle and moving like past or through it, the fox is able to teach us how to move around the obstacle, which goes with the problem solving, because there's different forms of a solution, and it isn't necessarily a confrontation, but to find a new path. With this, the fox to guide us to remember that everything isn't as serious as we often take it. So it doesn't have to be a serious confrontation, but a fun journey to work around obstacles that come up in our lives, and to hold on to our humor and enjoy of the journey that we are on. And so the fox also tells us to spread this humor to others and brighten up people's lives with this humor, but to also step back and recognize that certain types of humor can be harmful. And in certain situations, this humor can aggravate a situation. So even though we should bring more humor and laughter into our lives, it isn't something that we should be doing 24/7. The fox is very resourceful in knowing what it is that they need to use to get what they are looking for in life. And so they are able to teach us how to be resourceful when adjusting to new situations. And they encourage us to utilize our instincts and creativity in order to bring harmony into our life and to become more integrated with our surroundings. And we can do this better by meditating in silent solitude, so that we can figure out for ourselves ways that we can work around obstacles and bring healing to ourselves and those that we care about. In Native American cultures, the fox is generally seen as the fire bringer. In some of the tales, the fox is seen as the god of creation, but in others, the fox stole the fire from the gods in order to give it to the humans. As I said before, even within the Native Americans, there's differences where some believe that the fox is representative of negative sorcery and dark magic, but others think that the fox is a divine creature and representative of shamanism as a whole. In northern tribes, the fox is seen as a messenger, and many different tribes have fox clans, such as the Creek, Hopi, and Muskogee. But generally, the role of the fox differs in the stories depending on the situation regarding the protagonist and what it is that they need from the fox. In Eastern stories, foxes are considered to be humans whose spirits have traveled into the bodies of foxes. This is why they have the ability to be like a mediator between humans and the spirit realm. And so they are able to bring us messages from ghosts and ancestors. However, in Chinese tales, the fox is usually seen as negative and as a challenge to humans. But in Japanese tales, the foxes are wise. And one tale in particular portrays the fox as a messenger for the Shinto goddess of rice. Now, when the fox comes to visit you, this is usually during a time of challenge. This is a sign that you should take immediate action, even if it takes you out of your comfort zone. However, you should be sure about this action before you take it. Never rush into anything without doing proper discernment first. Remember that there's always more than meets the eye, and that you need to examine your situation carefully and foresee what might happen from different actions that you might take. Listen to your instincts if they're telling you that something is wrong. Take in the intuition, wisdom, and adaptability that the fox brings to you. The fox may come in to teach you a lesson through a challenge or through trickery. And as said before, the fox might come to you as a warning sign that there is something wrong about a person or a situation in your life. Through this, do heart discernment to figure out who you should be spending your time with. And if you really want to be involved in a situation that you are involved in. When it comes to romantic situations, the fox asks that we look at the big picture instead of allowing ourselves to be blinded by that love and recognize what it is that will give you your highest positive outcome. The fox may also come to you to let you know that you should create a new balance between your work and play. The fox asks that we let go of responsibility from time to time so that we can allow ourselves to recharge. And they also ask us to bring more humor into our lives in order to lift our spirits and the spirits of those that we care about. Finally, the fox might come to you to let you know that you are being a deceptive trickster and that you are treating others unfairly and that you should learn to change your ways. When you have a dream about a fox, it's generally coming to you as the warning sign that there is something going on in your life that you need to pay attention to. However, the fox might come to your dreams in order to let you know that you have an opportunity coming your way and that you should utilize your cleverness to figure out how to take the most advantage of that opportunity. What's interesting about dreams, unlike other ways that the fox might come to you, is that when we have dreams, we can have highlighted elements of it. And if you have a dream that highlights a fox's eyes or a fox in the shadows, then we know that there is more to be observed and that there is something beyond what normally meets your eye. And if you have a focus on ears, then you know that you should be listening more intently to what is happening around you. Now, some reasons that you might call the fox into your life: for discernment, to gain wisdom into blind spots, to use play and laughter to work through hardship, to bring humor into your life, to avoid confrontations, to find new solutions, to increase your curiosity, to expand your mind, for guidance on what path to take, to increase your energy, to open your eyes to the truth of the situation, for help adjusting to change, and for help with nocturnal activities and dream work. And some energies that you might have if the fox is your totem are that community is important to you, you're charismatic, you're a critical thinker, you have a natural sense of humor, you are gentle and kind, you're crafty when necessary, you think of solutions quickly, you move swiftly through challenges, your increased awareness of people in the world, you navigate life with ease, you can easily see through lies, you are discerning, you are able to adapt to new situations, you may be a prankster, you're diplomatic, you have a soothing nature, you're a problem solver, you are a keen observer and listener, and you're loyal. Now, the next animal that I will be covering, unless someone recommends another one, is the deer. Now, it is not officially available to read yet, but I am in the process of beginning the publication of this book through Kindle Vella because of the fact that this will take quite a while to get the completed book out there. This way, if you are interested, you can access the information as it comes out. And as soon as that is officially available to read, because it's in the review process right now, I will provide the link so that you can check it out. Please remember to subscribe in order to get more of these videos and for other spiritual related content.